this feels so nerve-wracking. Like, I'm so nervous. I have been absent from posting on this channel for almost 4 years. In fact, I've been absent from social media from a long time, almost 4 years. I'm so nervous. So about 4 years ago, I just stopped posting on my YouTube channel and on my social media. And recently I saw a video from another creator, Thick Leonce. I think she has another name here on YouTube, but I will link her video in the description box. But she was also talking about how she had taken a long break and she had shared some insights, and I thought, I relate to so many of these points that I think I should also post a video. And of late, I have had this passion in me to come back onto YouTube and share again. I just want to talk about, why, or, like, what I've learned in these 4 years of not being on social media. And I'm going to talk about it from 2 points of view. I'm going to talk about it as somebody who was a content creator, so somebody who was creating content for other people to consume. And then I also want to talk about it from like a consumer point of view, like just an everyday person that browses and consumes and goes and logs onto social media in this digital age that we live in. So as somebody that was creating content, when I started this channel for natural hair, I think it really started off from a genuine passion, from a point of genuine passion, and like I had reached a point with my own hair where I'm like, my hair doesn't grow past a certain point. And I remember like I started the channel, I think it was lockdown time. So, I think I had a passion for my natural hair at that time. And if you even look at my older videos, I used to use natural remedies, like things that you find in your house. So I would create DIY protein masks using avocado, banana, essential oils, use olive oil, things like that, like I was very much a DIY person, like use what's in your house and find ways of looking after your natural hair. And I became very passionate about discovering why does my natural hair not grow past a certain point, and just diving deep into this thing of looking after my hair. So that was how I ended up starting my channel. And then obviously as you create, you then become a content creator, and then that then changes the dynamic of what you're doing. So for me looking back now, I feel like what started out as a passion, and there was an era, it started out in an era, a time and space where natural hair was really booming. Like women were going back to their roots. Women generally wanted to be natural. Like a lot of women transitioned from being relaxed to being natural. So there was this general or a broad interest and intrigue into natural hair. It all started out very genuine. Like people wanted to know more about natural hair. People wanted to know more about how to take care of their natural hair. And then there were ladies like me who were like, hey, these are the tips that I use. I wash my hair with water only, or I create at-home DIY masks using the ingredients in my cupboard. This is how I moisturize my hair. Here's my moisture routine. But of course, with the society that we live in, a capitalist society, everything then becomes monetized. So with this booming or this growing audience who have this intrigue, who have this genuine curiosity, then comes a market. That then turns into a market. And if you have a market, you obviously have consumers, and then that was where things took a turn, where now this whole natural hair thing became monetized. And what started out as I'm creating content to share my passion, to share like what I have going on, to share my tips, then turned into I'm selling a product. And I just remember this time where every other week there was a new natural hair brand popping up. Businesses boomed, and I'm just saying from my point of view. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying from my point of view. And then also like I can't remember what Thick Leonce. I'm so sorry if I don't know what her current name is. Sorry. I know her as Thick Leonce, but she even said how Instagram even changed and how content even changed. Before it was like, hey, I could just come on and post and create a cute post. Like, this is how I washed my hair. This is the stuff that I used. And look at my hair, the before and after. If you guys want to try this out, you can go buy these products if you want. And because of that boom in that consumerism, and now it's like a market, and now it's about selling products, the content also changed to meet that demand. So now it wasn't good enough anymore, I felt, to just come on and make a post, just put a picture and just share a little video of you like washing your hair. And I felt this immense pressure to, like, content became such a production. Even on Instagram, like, I would get literal anxiety. And I'm somebody that's an overthinker, So I will overthink something until I feel like it's perfect. And that's a very, like, that is a weakness that I have. And I'm like, even like, if something isn't perfect in my mind, I can't do it, and I'll overthink and overthink. So even on Instagram, sharing, because there's so much going on and there's so much competition amongst content creators, because now there's this huge market and there's this whole capitalistic push. Everybody's now, like, the quality of content had really shot up to a point, like I said, it became very like production style and very curated and very like perfect, and in like operating within that space, it takes a lot for you to meet that demand as somebody that's a content creator. And I would really overthink. I'd be like, oh my god, my grid, I don't even know the terms nowadays because I completely checked out, but you'd go onto your grid on Instagram and I'd be like, oh, it doesn't look perfect, and you'd have to like have a theme. So it's not even a thing about, oh, I can just post. Like, your grid has to have a theme. So if you were like posting pinks, like, you can't just make, like, basically you can't just wake up and make a random post. Everything has to be thought out. You have to think 10 steps ahead. You have to think, what is my grid going to look like? What is the color scheme of my grid going to look like? If I post this video of me washing my hair here, what will the next 3 posts look like that will then fit into the theme of what my grid is going to look? And it became so much, like, just the pressure of having to now live up to that standard of your posts not only have to be so frequent because you need to keep engagement, but they also need to be so highly curated, highly produced, like the quality of it. And that's a lot of pressure, So now then that shifts your focus as somebody that started off as, I just want to share my tips. Like, I also just want to document this journey of me figuring out why my hair doesn't grow past a certain place, and of me trying to figure out why my hair doesn't grow past a certain length, and all the little things that I'm trying to find out, and I'm trying to do like these protein treatments or moisture treatments, or it shifted from that to, oh my god, like, now I have to post 3 times a week, or I have to post every day. And then thinking about hashtags and, oh, the order of you have to put in the hashtags and who you have to tag, and people commenting, how many comments did you get, and what's your grid going to look like? Have people shared your post? Have you people comment, like, all, like, so completely. And that really just takes away from the passion for me. So that was the first thing that really killed, or it just became very stressful, And then the second thing, and I think, again, with going back to overthinking, for months and for years I had wanted to create this video called The Death of the Natural Hair Movement, and I wanted to do it like video essay style, but that also takes a lot of work. But anyway, one of the things I was going to speak about, I don't know if the word is the gatekeeping or the policing of natural hair, because now people had positioned themselves, including myself, as, we are the experts, and no one's an expert. It's not like we went to school for hair. As people that are putting out content, and we have people who are learning from us, the they look to us as, oh, you know what you're doing, you're sharing content on it, and also like you have nice hair, so I'm going to trust that you know. And with that whole, remember how I said in the beginning, there was this genuine, organic boom of curiosity on let's learn to love our natural. Let's be curious. Let's figure out how do we actually care for our hair, and then we, the content creators, were filling in that need and creating content to meet that. But in doing so, suddenly we got a lot of policing. Oh, you should not wash your hair like this. You should only wash your hair like that. And no, you can't do natural hair like this. There's all these rules. And I even remember this one time, I don't like, without being messy or whatever, but this lady who became really big, like the face of natural hair, I don't know if she had partnered with a brand and had released some products. And then another lady who was a much smaller creator used those products and she had a bad experience. So in her review, she was like, oh, when I use these products on my hair, they smelled bad. Like it smelled like something, it smelled like something fermented. Like it smelled rancid. And then this bigger content creator was like, no, you didn't use the product properly because you're supposed to follow these steps, and with natural hair, you're supposed to do it like this. And it's like, there was this gatekeeping on natural hair and how you're supposed to care for it and all these rules and what's your porosity and are you 4A, 4B, 4, So I think that, that also turned a lot of people off because it's like, okay, so there's only one way to do natural hair, and it was just all very strict, and I think all of that policing, and now if you're not doing it the way that these content creators say, if you're not doing the LCO method or the LOC method, you just generally want to wash your hair, moisturize and go, then you're not doing natural hair correctly, So all of that was another added layer of pressure and responsibility and not doing it correctly. That's like, do I even want to do this anymore? Another factor is, as somebody that I was like a smaller creator, right? And I would really go out of my way to think of new content to create, something that's not the usual, or look for new products, just basically trying to create things that are different. And that takes a lot of work, that takes a lot of brain power, like to really sit back and think of something new, only for bigger creators to steal that and pass it off as their own and not give credit. So a lot of that was happening to me, and it really got very frustrating, because you take your time, you use your brain. Yeah, so anyway, so you think of stuff and you take your time to use your brain only for a bigger creator to steal it and not give you credit. So I had a lot of that happening as well, and it was just very, very frustrating. And I think the last point on my experience as a content creator was not seeing results and comparing myself. How they always say comparison is a thief of joy. Like that thing really also affected me a lot because you put so much. And I know it's really bad perspective, but I'm just being honest with you guys. You would put in so much thought and so much effort, because content creation is a lot of effort and it's a lot of work. So I would see myself, like for example here on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I started at the same time as so and so. They posted one video, it went viral, and now their channel has blown up. And it's like, but I post the exact same thing and I don't get the same traffic, So I'm like, then it's like, but why not? Like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Let me keep posting, let me keep working. And, obviously that's a very pessimistic way to look at things. Now I know, it's a very glass half empty, because even if you have 50 views on your video, somebody said to me, like, if you were to put 50 people in a room, that's a lot. Like 50 people show up to hear you speak, that's a lot. But obviously, when you're comparing yourself to somebody that got 56,000 views, you can easily just have a negative way of looking at it and saying, "What, am I good enough? Why is my content not blowing up?" And the same thing with Instagram. You're like, but I post the same thing. I post this, I post that. Why am I not getting followers? This is part of the reason why I had to unplug, because now we're living in an age, a digital era, where our worth is being derived from how many followers do I have, how many likes do I have, how many comments do I, but I was that person. Like, I would post, and then I'm looking at the next person. She also posts natural hair and stuff, but next thing she has 10,000 followers, and I'm like, why do I still only have 1,000? She has 100 and whatever likes, and I'm like, why am I not blowing up like that? So it really does become very exhausting when you feel like the effort you're putting in is not reflective of the results, you know? And it could be also seen as a sense of entitlement, but I'm just telling you, like, that's what I was experiencing at the time. So all of those things just really killed the whole passion for me to want to put in the work, for me to want to meet the demands of this capitalist system. Because I don't know if I mentioned it when I talked about this, but I did get a couple of brand deals and brand partnerships. But then that, like I said, how so many natural hair brands started to spring up. In you having to partner with brands, you now have to sell things to your audience. And it kind of then also removes that authenticity, because it's like, you cannot really always be trying to sell stuff to people. This week it's Dark and Lovely, tomorrow it's L'Oreal, the next day you're recommending something else, and it's like, girl, like, have you really tried these products? And of course, when I would recommend things, I would try them, but I try them, I would have a chance to try it maybe 1 wash day or 2 wash days. And sometimes maybe you need a longer time to actually get a sense of a product for you to have a thorough understanding of it, you know? So all of that also just like, it became like very capitalistic, like I said. Now people are just recommending brand after brand after brand. It becomes very mindless. It just becomes, I don't know, capitalistic and fake, like not authentic. So yeah, that's just really from the creator side what made me just, you know, be like, I don't know, I can't do this anymore. From a consumer side, obviously I was also somebody that would, you know, consume social media. Like, I would still have my personal Instagram. I would still have, okay, my main platforms were Instagram and Facebook. I wasn't really active on Twitter, and I didn't really get into TikTok. Even from a consumer point of view, there was still the toxicity. You log into Instagram and all you can do is compare yourself. You know, it's so funny that now we're in the era of skinny being in, but obviously 4 years ago was the height of like the BBL body and being thick and all these things, and you log into Instagram and you don't look like that, or I don't. So I would log on and like constantly want to compare myself, and constantly, and not just like from a body dysmorphia or whatever point of view, but just in general. Maybe I would see people that I'm like, oh, I don't have this that this person has, because I started off with this person, we were in the same class. Now this person is posting their, you know, whatever, the graduation, or they bought a house, or whatever milestone coming of age thing it was that I felt like I hadn't lived up to, that I was supposed to have lived up to because I was the same age as these people. And also like how on Instagram, social media in general, people only come on to post their best sides of themselves. Nobody's ever posting the real behind the scenes stuff. We only post our best side, and that also is very curated. So even on my personal Instagram, just like how I experienced this whole, you know, posts now have to be such a production, I was also experiencing that on my personal feed, where nobody just posts, you know. And in Thick Leonce's video, she mentioned how before Instagram just used to be about photos, like just used to be about pictures. You just go on and post a picture. But now, you know, everything's about a video, and with video, again, must be this whole huge production. You know, it must be in 4K, the lighting must be perfect, the editing must be off the chains, because you need to capture people's attention, because we only have 2-second attention spans. The videos need to be short and captivating. So all of that is, again, pressure. But for me, I think a lot of it was that just that comparison thing. Like, damn, I don't look like that. I haven't achieved this. I don't have this. I don't have that, which again is a very negative way of thinking. So that's why I say to myself, like, oh, and then, oh, sorry. Another thing that I realized with the social media from the consumer side, I was never in the moment. You know, I could never be in the moment for anything. You know, these days with social media and statuses and posting, we live in an oversharing, we're an oversharing generation, or we live in an oversharing era where nothing is private. From the moment you wake up to the moment you close your eyes and go to sleep, we have to share every step of our lives. That became also, again, very pressurizing. Because when you're at, or for me, like, let me just speak for myself. I would go to events or like have special occasions or functions, or even just going out with my friends. And it's like, oh no, we can't eat the food because we haven't taken a picture yet. Oh no, I haven't posted that I'm at this place or that place. Oh, I can't wear this outfit because I need to post in it, so I need to look perfect, you know? So it's like, are you even experiencing life, or are you experiencing life through a lens? So this was after I made the decision to actually leave social media, and I just remember seeing this moment. My sister was getting married, and in this video, she was coming down the aisle, and everybody was like this. Oh, wow! What? And I'm like, every single guest, while she was walking down the aisle, had their phone up. And to me, it's like, you're not fully present in the moment. Like, you are experiencing this moment through a screen, even though you're there physically in person. And at that moment, I just knew, I'm like, at my wedding, I'm banning phones. I'm sorry, but at least for me walking down the aisle, like, we're gonna have cubbies where we, like, people can check in their phones, or I don't know what system I'm gonna come up with, but I don't want people looking at me walking down the aisle with their phones in their hands. So it's just little things like that where I began to, like, really take a step back and examine myself. But yes, I just realized that, you know, you don't end up enjoying life. It's always a thing of, oh, I need to take a shot. You know, can we take pictures for hours and hours? And that really does end up frustrating people that are around you, because it's like, okay, how many pictures are we going to take? Or it's like, can we just eat the food now? Like, you've taken so many you just end up taking so many pictures that, girl, like, the food is getting cold, you know? So I then decided, like, you know what, I'm just going to check out. I just stopped posting on my YouTube. I stopped going onto Instagram. I stopped going onto Facebook. And, you know, I just didn't ever go back for years. I thought it would be like a couple of months, and I have so much content backed up that I thought I would have posted after, like, I took a break of 6 months or whatever, but no, the break turned into 4 years, you know? And it's so sweet, like, some people would find ways to message me, like some of my friends who I would connect with on social media only, to be like, are you okay? Are you okay? And that was very sweet, you know, but I think it was very important for me to do that. I have since had so many exciting and wonderful experiences, and in the moment I'm like, there is no pressure for me to create content. And now when you remove that aspect of wanting to overshare, when you do take pictures, it really is for, let's capture this moment, so we can remember it forever for us, and not let's capture this moment so we can curate content for our social media. Like, you know, you end up actually really enjoying wonderful moments in life. I have, like, over these last few years, I've experienced so much wonderful moments, and, like, I'm so happy that I was able to be in the moment for real. Memories, I've been able to be present in those moments with my family, with my friends, with my loved ones. You know, taking that break was very, very healthy for me. And it really gave me space and time to develop to develop or grow my passion again, my desire, my will to come back onto my YouTube channel and start creating again. And that is why I'm making this video now, because I feel like I am in a space where I can create genuine content. I do want to create content, but I'm no longer going to restrict myself and put myself in a box with all of these pressures. I told myself that I'm not going to go into Instagram because I know that's just a source of pressure for me. And I don't really have the goal of, working with brands. I'm not saying I'm not going to work with brands, but it's not something that I'm actively going to chase and go after, And I feel like that kind of pressure comes with being on Instagram, being on Facebook, being on TikTok. I think being on YouTube exclusively, you don't really you don't put yourself in the way of brands. If a brand does reach out to me, that would mean that they might have actually had to go out of their way to genuinely look up my content and see that, hey, this person's values aligns with our values and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense. And I told myself, if I do grow to a point where an Instagram or a TikTok or whatever is necessary, I would want to do that if I have the money to pay someone to do that for me, because it just creates so much, and I can't even describe the anxiety of having to go through and create content and make sure the grid aligns and the themes are matchy. I really can't. It just kills the joy and the passion for me. Over the years, I have been watching a lot of ladies, a lot of people on YouTube, where you genuinely just feel like a family, you genuinely just tune in and want to listen to this person talk, and you're not really getting anything out of them. They're not selling you anything. They're not pushing one product down your throat or the other. And I don't want to be that person. I just want to have a community. I think that's just what I long for, is really to build this platform and turn it into a community. And also, I want to branch out. I just want to create a space for like-minded people who are young women in their 30s, because I'm 30 now. Yeah, your girl is 30. Like-minded young women navigating our 30s, going down this journey, and not necessarily just having to be boxed into one thing, which is natural hair or whatever. We will figure it out together, even if one person watches this till the end and feels like they can relate to what I'm saying, or what I said to them validated them or made them feel that they can relate, or made them feel seen or heard, or just this helped even one person, that is good enough, So yeah, guys, I hope you like my little makeup that I did. I just thought, what, let me just throw on some makeup. Let me try to look cute for you guys, and let me just show my face here again, because it's been a minute and I think it's time. The urge is there, the will, the passion, the hunger to want to share is back, and I really just do want to dive back into this community. So guys, I hope that you enjoy this video. I know it's long, but I hope that it's been helpful to someone. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Yeah, let's have a conversation in the description box. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.